Welcome back to Fueled Not Fused. I've done it again. I've bought another track car. Yep, you've guessed it, an E46. So it's not the 3 litre. I will get around to that at some point if I'm going to keep it. We're not sure at the moment. But it's the 2.2 straight 6, 150 to 170 horsepower version. I'm not quite sure which one it is, but there's a few tidy bits on it. Let's have a look. So, the lad I bought this car off, Joe, thank you Joe, started prepping it for track because he was planning to take it to the Nürburgring. So we've got a quick shifter, actually feels really nice and solid that. We've got some cheap bucket seats and some cheap harnesses. I don't know if I'm going to keep these or not, but it's a good start and it gets us out on track. And obviously they just hold you in and stop you throwing about. Bucket seats and something like this, they don't really do a lot obviously, but they just, you feel a bit safer, you feel a bit more sturdy. I had them in the Civic for when we went to the Nürburgring and to Spa, and they really helped with holding you in the seat, so you could just feel a lot more committed and well, try and go a bit quicker really. Obviously the rear stripped out a little bit. I know everyone's going to cry at me. They're not on a harness bar, but I'm going to do 1 or 2 track days on this thing. I'm not going to go mega with it, so it's safe enough for what I need. To me it's safer than a seat belt on track as well, because you've only got 1 point across your body. But yeah, other than that, interior is pretty standard. Joe has put a steering wheel on it. So we've got a nice OMP wheel, and it is actually an OMP wheel. It's not a cheap Jap thing. And then we've got a little screen that lights up and everything. So yeah, pretty excited about it. Joe has also fitted M3 suspension from the 46. So with 35mm on lowering springs, we've got M-Tech grooved and drilled brakes with at the minute EBC pads. But I've already done some purchasing and we're going to throw some spicy pads in it because I am quite a well, I'm friends with the brake pedal, let's put it that way. I'm not the quickest dude on the planet. There's some rust repairs been done before. It's got the typical E46 arch rust. They've been done. The backs have been rolled to fit the wider tyres. Well, I don't think it looks bad actually. It's not horrific. They've done a nice job of it. Right, let's open bonnet. That's weight saving. Don't need that. Right, where were we? So, we've got a ram air filter. It actually makes quite a nice noise, this thing, on full throttle. I quite like it. I've never really had I've never had a 6-cylinder. I've certainly never had a BM. I think it sounds really good. Power wise, it's top end. Again, obviously naturally aspirated car. You haven't got boost, you haven't got anything like that, so you've got to use all the revs to get the power out of it, like the Civic, but this just feels so much slower than the Civic. I should probably get over that car, do you know what I mean? I sold it, but here we are. So yeah, ram air filter for ramming the air in. No oil leaks, which is rare for a BMW. Apart from that one, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, like I say, with the 2.2, it's actually quite nippy. I wouldn't say it's fast, but it's you know, she goes well. She goes well. Good noise. It's had a muffler delete. Just a back box, nothing, you know, nothing spicy, but it actually sounds really, really good. We'll put a cold start in now. And this is what it sounds like a bit warmed up. Sounds really good. I'm a big fan of Asbo exhaust, and this isn't too bad. The cat's still on it at the moment. It's got the typical E46 lights on the dash, which you get with any car really these days, don't you? Cruise control lights on because the steering wheel's off. Obviously the controls aren't there. The other one's just there for decoration. You know, we're not far past Christmas, someone's still got their lights on. But yeah, going on about the ram air induction kit, I actually think the induction noise is pretty good on this. Also got the JR wheels with Goodyear Eagle F1s on it. I've not really driven them before. I normally like to go for NS2s or Cup 2s if it's like a road track car, and treble 8Rs if it's a much lighter car, but see how we get on with these. I don't really want to throw the budget at this car at the minute, so see how we get on with it. I'm going to go and change the brake pads now, take the rear seats out of it. I've got a track day booked with the lads on Monday at Snetterton, so this is what we're going to be taking to that. See how we get on with it. One thing I will say is, at the minute, I just feel too high. I feel like I'm sat too high up. I'm too close. I'm all over the place. If I move the seat back, obviously, then the extension on my legs is too much for what I'm comfortable with. So I've got a bit of playing around to do with that. Seating position isn't great. I think it's the mounts that these seats are on, to be fair, because I do feel like I'm just way too high up. But obviously that's what happens with aftermarket seats. Sometimes you have to find what you're comfortable with. So we'll have a play around, have a look at that. At the minute I can't adjust the harnesses either, because of the way that they're mounted under the seats. So I've got to sort that out. So yeah, there's a few things to do before we go to Snet. I'm going to get on with them now. Oh, the other thing, I'm very excited to show these off. Lecky mirrors, Lecky windows, Lecky everything. Here we are, it's got carbon mirror caps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously this is a bit of a change for me as well. I'm not a massive rear wheel drive man. I've had the Quantum, that I used that on track. Loved the Westfield, that was fantastic on track as well. But then I've had the Clio, that was a bit of a track car. The Civic, built that Mini, stuff like that. I've tended to lean towards front wheel drive stuff because usually for me it's been cheaper. But a lot of my friends have had these cars. Chelsea loves it. Chelsea had the E46 when we got together. We messed around with that a bit. Tom's had E46s, E36s, Ben and all the other lads. Ian, for God's sake, drifts a BMW. You know, because he's cool and all that. They're really popular cars, so I thought it's finally time to see what the fuss is about and get myself one. That's a nice little bonus, look. It's got different arms on it. They're quite good. These pads are actually virtually brand new, look. But I just haven't got on with them. I've only driven it a bit on the road, but they just seem to get warm way too quick. That shit was tight. Chelsea's opinion.
I like it. I
Yeah?
like it a lot. I had an E46. Mine was a pre-facelift, but it was only a 318 and it had a lot of issues. I'll put a picture somewhere, but it was like, it had an engine light on. It
had a misfire, didn't it?
A really bad misfire. Like
you just kept saying to me, it's so slow, it's so slow.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't just slow. It was like you'd put your foot down, it wouldn't go anywhere, but then it'd go, vroom.
But that was only a 4-pot. This is a 6-pot.
Yeah.
So a bit more power.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a lot more power, but it has got more power. But yeah.
I can tell that it's got a little bit more.
Yeah. You drive a Corsa daily, mate. You excited to have a go at it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but again, the problem with bucket seats for me is that I'm quite short. So
No, are you?
I'm quite short, so even if I can move the seat, I still feel like I'm on the floor of the car and I can't see over the dash. So it's like, it just makes driving so much more difficult.
We just have to leave that coat on. That doubles your size anyway, doesn't it?
Or if we put like a booster seat in, like a kid's booster
A booster?
seat.
No, that's it. That's it. I've had enough now. Usually the case of one of my videos, it's got dark and the car's about ready now. There's Chelsea. Car's ready for Snet. We're going on Monday. Please subscribe, like, send it to your mates. Comment down below anything, what you think about the car. If you've had one in the past, what you do to it. Any advice for driving at Snetterton. There's a lad over the road in his MX-5. So yeah, we'll see you at Snetterton.